This Christian's about to get sketchy. In my sketchbook, it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Starting with the grittiness of a broken world and exploring through comic books the gateway to grace that is Jesus Christ. My name is John Bursell. I am a Christian artist living and raising my son in Montana, creating everything from paintings, poetry, photography, graphic design, and culinary dishes. I have also taught many art classes. I love Jesus, Mountain Dew, and loud music. Currently, I'm funneling all of my energy into my book series, My Walk. Download free comic books at mywalkcomic.com. If this is the sort of thing you like, then do the sort of thing people do when they like this sort of thing. I'm going to go draw now. Like and subscribe. Okay, this is real too. I restarted it. My camera said it had a size limit. I don't know what that meant. So just to make sure I'm doing okay. This is crowded. Okay. So back to it. Yeah, I want to work my ending out a little better. And right now, I'm just kind of rambling as I'm inking. But I have to say, there's nothing more enjoyable as an artist than to have something in your head and then you start to see it materialize. You can sit there and take notes all day long. Oh, and then I've got this idea and I'm going to do this and do a couple sketches. But when you start to put your pages together, your characters, wow. It just makes me feel really good to see this start to come together. And today I've done 3 pages. That's the first one. 3 pages of sketches. So here's my next one. And I wonder if I should just do it with the brush. But before, when I did it with the brush, I should pop that into the video really quick. Bumping everything, and I bumped it. But I did this one with a brush, and I did it freehand. I didn't even sketch him out. I just brushed it, looking at a reference that I did. And I really like it, but I think the eyes and some of the detail stuff I need to do with a marker, with a pen. And then I can brush the rest. I like how it looks. I like the shadows in there. So, let's see. Put that in the ink. And let's see what we can do. If this marker's going to make it. I don't have any other markers. I have obliterated all of my markers. They're toast. So, this is my main character, Angela. And by the time I upload all these videos, you may know who she is already. But my goal is to just keep making content. I'm just going to keep recording everything I do. And instead of promoting something that's not finished, instead of telling the world about my dreams and my ideas, I'm going to hang on to all this footage until I am done with my books. And then I'm going to start posting everything and releasing everything. So my social media, I can post all this after actually done. So you may see some finished pages posted on Instagram once you see this video launched. But right now, in real time, I am just now at the beginning of a journey to do this book. Book called My Walk. And if you're following the stuff I'm posting, talking about the future me, not the me sitting here drawing, the future me is launching a book, a series, 8 issues, about a girl, this girl right here, Angela, who sees sin. It has form, shape. She sees how sin affects our lives, how sin looks like a snake with teeth, how sin, there's a novel called The Oath, and the beginning introduction of the novel is amazing. It talks about sin as a predator, the only predator on the planet, unlike any other. Like you think about bears and lions and wolves. Any other predator on the planet that attacks a human being, we all come together and we put it down, we kill it, because it's a threat to people. But yet we sit there and watch sin take chunks out of us daily, out of our souls, out of our lives. And none of us fight it. Now there are Christians that do pray against sin and, but as a whole in society, we all just watch each other being devoured. And nobody does anything about it. Nobody chases down this predator to stop it. We just accept it. We lay comfortably numb. And we let it eat us. And Angela, her character, she sees how people behave. And then she sees the effects of it. And I thought it'd be an interesting story to tell. This girl who has this power to see the spiritual world. And I don't think enough Christians... Oh, my head. Ouch. I don't think enough Christians think about the spiritual warfare that's going on all around us. We don't pay enough attention to it. And we ignore it, and it devours us. And when you don't have a good game plan against the enemy, he has a better chance of winning any kind of war. No matter what kind of war you're talking about. It doesn't have to be spiritual warfare. But any kind of war that you try to engage in, I mean, imagine if in World War II we were at war with the Nazis. We're on the war field in battle. But nobody acknowledges that Nazis actually exist and they're not actually fighting against the Nazis themselves. How bizarre would that be? It just sounds stupid. But yet that's what we do with spiritual warfare. And so I'd like to make a statement in this comic about just, throughout the story that it's being talked about, to remind us to pay attention, that it's a real thing. And it affects us. And hopefully I'll open people's minds up to the ideas again of what's actually in the Bible. Now, I'm not trying to replace the Bible. But I have a story that I want to tell of this new thing that I've been doing, that because it's so easy, being a single parent, and I mean being a parent who's single. It's so easy to just fall back into whatever. Start dating again or start running around, and I don't know. I started to fall into that trap, and I feel like as a Christian, that if you're dating, it's to get married. And I need to just really slow down, look in the mirror, and kind of take some time to heal and think about things that I've gone through. And one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been asking myself with every decision I make, and this has been the hard part because I have been so easily swayed my whole life to just do what everybody else is doing. Because, you want to be accepted and you want to be... But, if I'm really going to do this, be a Christian and write a Christian comic book and follow God, read my Bible, I need to worry about pleasing God. So my thing that I tell myself every day is, does this serve God? That's the first part. Does this serve Luke, my son, and the decisions I'm making and the things I'm doing? And does this serve my art? And if the choices I'm making takes away from any of those three, in that order, if it takes away from God, I shouldn't be doing it. If it takes away from my son Luke, I should not be doing it. So I've been trying to live that way. And if it takes away from my art, because definitely I have to put God first. I have to be there for my son. He's 8 years old. I've got to raise him. And then what's left of me, should I run around town and party and date women, or what's left of me, should I devote it to doing this idea that I've had since 2014, 9 or 10 years. And I feel like, in a way, my art is going to be serving God. It's going to be a comic book that has scripture in it. It's going to have a message. It may not be the best Christian comic in the world, but I feel like God's calling me to do something. So we are called to go out into the world and tell them the good news. That's something I would like to do. And I think after I finish this character, I'm going to wrap it up today. I wanted to do 3 whole pages of inking, but my head is pounding so hard I might just go lay down. But I definitely wanted to push myself to accomplish something. I definitely wanted to see something materialize right before my eyes. And see my characters come to life instead of just in my head abstract. This gives it something solid. I can look at it and go, oh, I created this. That's a good feeling, even when you have a migraine. But yeah, I was wanting to apply my graphic design schooling. I went to the Institute of Art in Colorado, and there's a lot of great classes on graphic design, logos. I really like the look of things that are really solid and conveying a message in a very simple way, like a logo, for example. And maybe the more simplified and blocky I can make my characters, the better. And there's just a beauty to Charles Schultz and his Peanuts. The way he does Charlie Brown and Snoopy and the whole gang. You get a lot of inspiration from that. And I'm going to call it quits tonight. I was going to do some more, but I will save it for another video. I'm going to go get some rest.